we may have just discovered an overlanding track that rivals some of the world's best. It's known for its epic landscapes and remote villages, but also its dangers. This is one adventure you don't want to miss. We're a family of 4 on a 5-year overlanding journey around the world. This is Jane, our Grenadier, and we live here in our off-road trailer. Join us as we explore the far corners of our wild earth. This is Tajikistan. Most people come here to drive the Pamir Highway, the second highest highway in the world. And that was our plan too, until we heard about the Bartang Valley, and we couldn't stop thinking about it. But this route through the Pamir Mountains doesn't come without its risks.
It is really deep. It's going like a meter and the ground is very uneven, so it's very scary. I don't know if I will be able to make it. Look at that, look at that.
These videos from online definitely made us a little uneasy about going this way, but we had just entered the country, so we didn't have to make any decisions just yet. We were just so happy to see trees and mountains again after weeks in the desert. Over the next week, we'd make our way to Dushanbe, the capital, and from there, follow the northern mountain route to the start of the Pamir Highway. In Rushan, we'd have to make a decision: turn off onto the infamous Bartang Valley, or continue on the Pamir Highway. Got all our staples here, and somehow I have to try to fit most of this in the fridge. Let me show you this lunch spot. It's really quite lovely, and we're also filling our water as we're cooking. So lots going on, lots of things getting done, so feels good. We've got fresh spring water here, and it's being pumped into the trailer. Everybody's so nice here. I love it. That cloud is that's a bad cloud. It's gonna rain like that. Look at that cloud. Trying to come up with a solution for the rain without having to go eat in the car, because that is always messy. We've never done this before with the tarp, so I'm not sure if it's actually gonna work. How are you going to hold it up? The zip on the awning was stuck and clogged with the dust from all our time in the desert, so we needed a quick alternative before it rained. It's starting to rain, and it rained quite a bit last night and all for the first part of the morning. So now we've come up to this bridge, and there's a bunch of locals that were just kind of parked around. Everybody's standing around kind of waiting. We're not really sure what's happening. Clearly the bridge is done.
There is no bridge.
Yeah, so Matt got out and, did some investigating.
So there's a ton of rain last night, and that's obviously made its way down the mountain now into the river systems and washed away the bridge we were going to use, but not just us, the bridge that everyone uses. And there's no way around apart from going back on ourselves 8 hours and then ultimately starting the whole journey again, which is like a 15 to 17 hour journey. And there's a guy here with a tractor. In about 3 hours, he said he's going to build us a bridge.
Time to cross the river. The water level is so much lower, and they moved all the big stones out. So yeah, we're gonna give it a go. With the rain finally clearing, we thought we were in for a smooth ride. But as we climbed higher, another challenge hit us out of nowhere. Normally, you'd expect rocks or loose gravel at this altitude. So what happened next was a bit of a shock. Suddenly, we found ourselves driving up a steep hill of slippery mud. The trailer was swerving behind us, and there was no option to turn around or stop. Either we made it or we didn't. Matt stayed focused while I held my breath, and my heart was just racing. Between the broken bridge and this mud, I was starting to have serious doubts about giving the Bartang Valley a go. So we're further south now, and we weren't sure where we were gonna go because there are a couple different ways to go. One being through an area called the Bartang Valley. Some people we met in Dushanbe said it's that they had heard absolutely not, you can't go through, you have to wait till August or September. But we've asked quite a few locals here, and they all seem to not be fazed by it. So we're not really sure what's gonna happen. Yeah, we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna talk to some people once we get into the valley.
The only other thing is obviously heavy rainfall, because that has a delayed reaction and also flash floods. And then also you'd think, okay, now we've got a dry weather window, it's really sunny, the water levels are low, we're good to go. But what happens is the glaciers melt and large chunks break off. And that has a huge impact, and very, very quickly in terms of the water levels can rise by 1 or 2 feet in a short period of time. So even if we decide to turn round, we have to bear in mind that what was passable a few days ago may not be now.
As we began entering the Bartang Valley, my stomach was in knots, and I was so nervous because of what I had saw online. I was thinking about the car getting swept away by a river, one of us getting really bad altitude sickness, falling off a cliff, and so much more. There are times where we feel very torn on this trip because the adventurer in us wants to go everywhere, but the sensible parent in us does not. And the sensible parent was taking over. Trying to calm my nerves, Matt reminded me that if it got too risky, we could always turn back. The mountains around us were amazing, but the road was so narrow, at times leaving little to no room for passing. We hadn't seen any other vehicles until now, and of course, it just had to be a massive truck.
That's to help out, is it?
Can you make it, Matt? Do you want me to get out, Matt? Matt, do you want me to get out?
No, you getting out is not going to help.
Wow, we're so close. We just had the showdown with the truck, and he kind of wasn't budging, so that was a bit tricky. We're really close to a very raging river right next to us. Anyway, My heart was going a little bit. I don't want to go over into the river. Matt was fine as usual.
I was very brave.
Yeah, Jack, you were the best in that situation. Oh, you were brave as well, Charlotte? Yeah. You guys are very brave in the back, weren't you?
After weeks spent in the cities of Uzbekistan and dealing with endless visa issues for the next phase of our trip, we were both feeling drained and overwhelmed. But as we made our way into the Bartang Valley, something shifted. With each passing day, we started to feel lighter, freer, and more alive than we had in weeks.
Chase down a brand new adventure. Step up, step out and enter in. There's no time for stalling. The wild is calling. When you risk it all, you learn to feel alive. Oh, searching for new life. Oh, reaching for new heights. Whoa, into the daylight. So open your eyes, we're making the climb, we're taking the dive deep into the wild. Our dreams on the horizon, our fears leave them behind us now.
We were thinking maybe we had found a slice of heaven. We couldn't quite believe how beautiful it was. This lush green village just came out of nowhere, and it was surrounded by these towering mountains. It was so dreamy. This is the village of Sabnab. Life is slow here and no one is in a rush. You feel that when walking around. It's really peaceful. We stayed with Mulk and his family in a traditional Pamiri house. Just look at the light in their eyes. Wow. The morning air was crisp and cool and the sun had just come over the mountains. It was perfect for a morning stroll around the village, which was mostly spent making friends and saying hello to all the animals. We left the village with big smiles and feeling more relaxed than ever. And if you're wondering about the water levels, We had been watching them closely, and so far they were okay. But ahead was the most dangerous crossing in the Bartang Valley. Last year, a truck was swept away and destroyed. I just hoped the water was low enough, like the locals had told us. But surely, like, it must have been more flooded than this for a car to get lost.
Yeah.
If anything, you get stuck.
He was saying last year.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. Oh
I
dear.
think it's this bit here.
Okay.
It's going to go in the water a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely the part I saw online, but this was all covered in water basically, so should be fine.
It's just rocks. Like if it was mud and falling. Ready?
Yeah.
They haven't gone that high up.
Let's just get through first before we start talking smack.
We get through, Charlotte. Non-event.
But you could see how that could get really bad.
I could see how that could get
Yeah.
bad, yeah.
As we climbed higher in altitude, the weather would begin to get more unpredictable. As you can see here, the wind was wild. There is no way we would sleep here, but we had to make lunch work.
Yeah.
You can see it's not cloud, it's some kind of dust. It could just be from the wind, but it could also be a landslide. I guess we'll see. It's a bit concerning. Ooh, it's like getting worse, Lumber. Okay, well, I don't want to drive through that.
What are we going to do?
We might have to wait. I mean, you cannot see anything if you drive through that. We're getting closer to this big cloud of what we think is dust. I don't think it's a good idea to be driving through there. Who knows what's going on.
Could be a massive landslide and just kicking everything up, and slowly it's going to move our way. So Leah's not up for investigating, so we may have to stop the day a little early and check it out tomorrow morning.
Well, also the sky is black, so you don't want to be driving in that and rain. I just think that's a potential recipe for disaster.
Might be clearing.
I think it's cloud. So we were wrong.
You want to go?
No! You don't want to drive in that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether it's dust or cloud.
Yeah, it's not a good idea, is it?
No.
Single track road. Well, it's not even a road. Massive drop off, switchbacks. Right. Set up camp.
Matt's just checking if it's dry down there, because it might rain, so we don't want to be in the mud or, you know, like clay-like stuff. I also don't want to be too close to, you know, like a really steep hill, because there is a lot of rock wall around here.
Can maybe watch something at home, of course.
So, as you can see, it's really windy out there. Yeah, the wind's picked up through here. There's absolutely no shelter. It's really dusty, and there are a lot of bugs. So Matt thinks that
I think that looking at the cloud, it's quite a sharp edge, so I think it's just a cell passing through, which is why it's so windy and kicking up all this dust. And you only really know that.
What is a cell? Not everybody knows.
Sorry, like a thunderstorm cell. And
Like what?
Like a thunderstorm.
Okay.
Like an isolated thunderstorm. and you only really know if there's a row of cells once you get round.
These are
Cumulonimbus. That's right, Jack.
Oh, so like one storm after another, if it's
Yeah.
like multiple cells.
Yeah, because you can get that. You can get a row, so it depends.
Yeah.
We're only going to find that out when we go around the back of it. So that's what we're going to go and do. Yeah, we just got an update on the Garmin InReach, a little weather forecast.
We don't have any service here, so.
So it basically says no rain for the next 5 days, but nothing's 100% accurate, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if this cell produced a little bit of rain. It looks a little bit dark and stormy.
My God. Okay, it wasn't that bad. Just never know.
I think it's these switchbacks.
Oh yeah, it's tight.
Just go full
Yeah.
lock and the trailer can just take the hit.
Well, my heart is still racing after that. I don't think I mean, I saw some switchbacks, but I didn't realize they were gonna be so high up. We didn't really get to film much of that because Matt just really had to focus.
Yeah, we're 3,800 meters now, and the Grenadier turning circle is not amazing. And so we were full lock and pretty much full throttle and just letting the gearbox do its job, and it did it really well. We never went below third in low, so we had the center diff in. But yeah, if we had to stop for traffic or reverse, that would not have been a good situation. And yeah, should just go over the top of this mountain now and then down into the campsite and just chill out.
Yes.
I'd quite like a beer, but we don't have any beer.
Maybe that's the advice we give to people. Go Sunday afternoon.
كثير يس دواكر погода вообще не нормально погода не
Maybe this.
Say hello, Charlotte.
Oh, there's the mom.
чай чай
Ooh, look, we get to see inside. Wow. Wow, so nice. Very nice and warm. Hot in here, huh? Wow, Charlotte, look. Are they making us some chai? And they have the... Wow.
Hello. Good.
Shepherds stay up in the high pastures during summer, like you see here, but we were still a bit surprised to see this family as we were nearing 4,000 meters in altitude. They were so kind and hospitable. Even with their simple setup, they invited us to sleep there for the night. And as much as we wanted to take them up on their offer, we thought we'd leave them in peace, as we're never quite sure how the kids will sleep in new environments. The shepherd warned us that a massive thunderstorm was coming, so we quickly set up camp and made dinner the fastest way we knew how. Okay, so I got really excited because the lighter turned on, but then it won't stay on. So Matt's gonna use, what is it called?
Flint and steel.
A flint and steel, kind of like a survival thing. Show them in the camera.
Ready?
Woo! We want to get dinner done quickly, so we've got these kind of camping meals, real tarmac. They're actually really, really delicious. So I really don't mind eating them. Tonight we have beef and potato, squash and sweet corn casserole, creamy salmon with pasta, and what is this? Oh, chicken and lime. So once we put the water in here, these will take about 8 minutes and then dinner's ready. The wind is gonna pick up and I won't be able to cook at all. So I'm just trying to rush to get it done because you just never know. You just don't know how long it's gonna last. You know, the calm before the storm, right? It's so pretty, even with all the clouds. We had made it through the Bartang Valley. After nearly a year on the road and 40,000 kilometers covered, this was the best overlanding track we have driven. The people were a big reason it was so special, kind, generous, and so full of life. This hidden gem of the Pamirs is not for the faint of heart, but for those who crave adventure, it's an experience like no other. We had one last obstacle before making it back onto the Pamir Highway. Oh my God. Jeez. Well, that was a success. It was time to refuel before heading into our next country. The only thing was, we had to cross over a 4,600 meter pass to get there. This was the highest we've been in the Grenadier since leaving London, and it felt so surreal and really cool. This fuel source was so dodgy. This is definitely the sketchiest place we have filled up at, but there was no other choice for hundreds and hundreds of miles, and we needed to fuel up before heading to our next destination. Join us next time in Tajikistan.